Wrong table.
On a right table, the table just moved. You've got to keep up with it, honestly. Oh, good.
That's all, man.
Coastal Marlins batting against the Darling Dingoes. Coastal Marlins in blue, Darling Dingoes in their distinctive orange. Finalists in both the senior men's and under-19 men's competitions. Offside for one, that's Riley Wotherspoon. He gets a 4 just behind point. Riley Wotherspoon, the Compass first grader. Playing at Wests these days, often as wicketkeeper, although in the second half of last season she shed the gloves for a few matches and started taking wickets. Olivia Winter. Short delivery at the body, it's been given. Wotherspoon out second ball, conceded the boundary first ball. And then Winter was able to get a bit of extra bounce, just a feather of an edge. And the keeper did the rest. So the Darling Dingoes off to an excellent start, 1 for 4 after just 2 deliveries. Well done, Olivia Winter. Missed the earlier game, we saw an excellent win, a thumping win for the Bayside Pirates over the Northern Kings. Tara Williams started 62 with that. And then from Emerald Brothers Club, Bonnie Berry, 15-year-old pace bowler, with the ball. As you can hear, the wind has really picked up. We'll try to give you the best commentary we can. As stilt walkers make their way past the field. They are in fact life-saving stilt walkers. Officially the first cricket match I've been to. Life-saving stilt walkers. Take a while to donate. Join this under-19 competition with you. Olivia Winter continues to the northern end of Park Ashton. Bullish delivery. The new batter is Charlotte Lutz, who plays that very nicely down the third. Deftly. Full and wide again. Just lost the radar in the last couple of deliveries after an excellent start. At least she's attacking the off stump.
Oh, Dan, you got some shade, mate. Thank the Lord. It'll actually go further that way, so you might be a bit better.
Better win on it. So,
that's okay. So long. I'm glad you got some shade.
I do, yeah.
Just want to fill it up, this is cold.
As the ball just passes by outside off stump. Please welcome Tanya, who's been working like a Trojan over the past few days. Oh, she doesn't want me to mention it, been a little bit late for that, Tanya. But no, the organisational effort required to bring the different community together has been absolutely outstanding. So Olivia Winter just looking to get the radar back. And beats the outside edge. The few Gold Coast Wave Riders doing the players shut down the stream. First over, good start for the Darling Dingoes. Coastal Marlins. Get away. Died on the way through to the keeper. Got a couple of wides in the zone, so still 2 balls to go. Kira Holmes urging the charges on from behind the stumps. Plenty of options for these teams. Marlins are outside the off stump again. Apologies for the walk in front of the camera. As the over finishes, Olivia Winter, a wicket-taking start here at Marchant Park in Ashley in Brisbane's north, the under-19 women's competition of the first Mazda Brisbane Premier League. Coastal Marlins representing the coast, the Sunshine Coast really. Their Sunshine Coast representation in their side. Darling Dingoes, that's the name. Toowoomba in the Darling Downs, although they say very clearly on their website they represent all regional towns in Queensland. And they're very proud to do so. Finalists in both the men's competitions, as I say. The bowling from this southern end will be Abby Harvey. Bowling to a fair bit of height. Wasn't through mid-off, it's been done before. Not a classic off drive, but it was very well timed by Charlotte Lutz. Lots of weight. The Bayside Pirates have thrown down a figurative gauntlet. Like the commentary can't be heard, so we are going to interrupt the commentary and abandon it for a little while and see if we can get it sorted out.
No, this rock box still works because this camera should be charged. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just like our battery pack, you know, carpet. So yeah.
Dingo. What's going on?
Oh, not much, not much. How are you?
We're here.
Okay, I'm going for cricket.
Okay, we're going to try to provide some commentary for you. This is the Mazda Brisbane Premier League Under-19 Women's Division Darling Dingoes. Caitlin Lutby bowling for you from Sunday. Action hits Hamilton low down, squeezes out the third where it's fielded by the keeper in Kira Holmes. An adventurous start, 3 for 63. Coastal Marlins, largely from the Sunshine Coast, they've been putting their foot down, putting their scores, and also lost the 3 wickets. Possibly of overthrows, not the cleanest fielding, but they do manage to run a single. Now, there is a live chat. Some of you have used it already, but often over the head. Well, that'll be 4 runs for Hamilton. Straight back to her teammates waiting in the mid-end. Circles. 15-year-old who can play cover drives and bowl bounces, but don't get carried away. Swinging delivery from Lutby. Control the swing. So second match on this field. 3 matches happening simultaneously. To follow them all, download the Brisbane Premier League app or go to brisbanepremierleague.com. Short outside off stump, whacked over mid-off, 4 runs more. Whacks into the side screen, which is a permanent fixture of this ground, made up of wood that was put there in the 19th century. Hamilton made sure it was hit hard. Using the lack of bounce well, there has been a distinct lack of bounce. So the leg side wides are often just a result. Taking control of the ball to incorporate it change a bowler at the far end. It'll be Arya Pal. Any mispronounced names, you are more than welcome to correct me. If you're at the ground, just come up and write it down on my notepad, but if you're not at the ground, use the chat in the live stream, because I do have it in front of me. This is far more your tournament than mine. This is for the players, this is for their families, friends, fans. Arya Pal. Full to Lucy Hamilton, driven down the ground, well fielded. Very well fielded down at long off. That's Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Just quickly, Kevin, you wanted that extraordinary meeting with Murray. Let's go. Come on.
Well, I guess the umpires are going to go have that extraordinary meeting with Murray. Testing audio.
Dad here today? Mel? Dad here? Where's Mum at? Right. You girls know anything about it?
Testing audio. Testing audio.
Spread out a bit if you're doing the throwing, just in case you've gone somewhat.
So welcome for the third attempt to Marchant Park in the north of Brisbane for the Under-19 Women's Tournament of the Mazda Brisbane Premier League. My name is Daniel Viles, and it is a pleasure to at least attempt to join in with the wonderful cricket being played by some of the best, well, in reality, all of the best young female cricketers in southeast Queensland. This match between the Darling Dingoes in orange, representing the Darling Downs Basin, and the Coastal Marlins in their light blue and orange from really the Sunshine Coast. The Marlins batted first and scored 6 for 147. It was a similar total made by the Bayside Pirates in the first game on this field, and they defended it very well and ended up with a bonus point victory over the Northern Kings. Lucy Hamilton, left arm fast to bowl from the northern end at Marchant Park. It's a French drive, if you will. Imogen Fisk-Walsh guided down to fine leg, where it's thrown back in by Mel Vanier. Streaky start to the Dingoes innings. Fisk-Walsh, a right-hander from the Ipswich club, part of the team that made, but unfortunately for them, lost the Jody Field Shield final earlier in the year. Hamilton getting good carry through to the keeper. Hamilton top scored for the Marlins, 38 off 24 balls, 5 fours and a 6. Ella Anderson, the pick of the bowlers for the Dingoes, 2 for 31 from her 4 overs. Lucy Hamilton, player of the final in the 50 over Catherine Raymont Shield final back in March. Good bounce. Kept that well by, I'm going to say Kalia Wheeler, it could be Kalia. Which brings me to my next point, which is that if you're watching this, you've probably got access to the YouTube live chat. Please interact. This is more your tournament than it is mine. I'm absolutely privileged to be here. My name's Daniel Viles. But you're the family, you're the friends of these players. If you want to get a message to me, edged. It's going to go behind the gully. It will go towards the boundary, but fielded well by Eve Molly in the third boundary. And a hello from Dominic Window from the Old Queensland Churches competition. I've been well, not about us. Let's focus on the cricket. Dominic, I hope you enjoy the Dingoes versus Marlins. There's no longer with us the Queensland Churches competition, but we do have the Brisbane Premier League by Mazda here at Marchant Park. Inside edge again. Fisk-Walsh not quite finding the middle, but she's holding Lucy Hamilton out. Hamilton, who bowled very well last season, but never really got a big ball. He's already got a 4 for the Catherine Raymond Shield this season, with the 2020 component of the season beginning yesterday. 5 straight days of cricket, I think for most of these women, it will be pure bliss. That was came off something, I think it might have been pad. Wasn't interested, or the spoon with the glove, wasn't interested either. And a typically good first over from Lucy Hamilton, who has an enormous future ahead of her as long as media types like me don't overhype her. So trust me, I know how good she is, but the worst thing I can do is raise expectations for her and end up having her hate the game. But she's bowled an excellent first over, and the Marlins will continue with Charlotte Briggs from the Sunshine Coast Club. There's a massive Sunshine Coast flavour to this Coastal Marlins side. The men's teams were more spread in terms of where players come from, but when you're dealing with people with school commitments and club commitments and maybe not as much money as their disposal, it makes sense to stick with clubs that are a little bit closer to home where you can train. So lots of Sunshine Coast and Sandgate Redcliffe players. The sprinkling of good Amanda on the side. The Darling Dingoes, lots of Ipswich players, as you appreciate. Players in the front. Full and straight, and you low bounce, which has been typical that end of the pitch so far today. There are quite a few shooters at the northern end of this Marshall Park Oval. It starts with Dingoes and State Street. Again, nicely weighted on. You don't want to go too hard at the far end, but well kept out. Floaty from Charlotte Briggs, but it did the trick because it was well directed. Slashed over the offside, it's gone over the head of the point. The outfield here is quite quick, and of course in the power play. She adds 4 to the Dingoes total. The 20 over comp for the Catherine Shield on the centre by Wests. Like you might have heard of, Grace Harrison the weekend out with centuries in the semi and final. Slower delivery from Briggs. And it's hit surely, but straight to mid-wicket. Field without much trouble by Rebecca Keiters. Possibly Coiters, possibly Caters. I'll go with Coiters, but I'm more than happy to be corrected if you know her and know how the surname's pronounced. Brings on line, Wheeler onto the front foot. We'll go out to the boundary sweeper. Just a second. Tight over from Briggs. Expecting Hamilton to continue from the northern end. Now in this competition, it's an under-19s competition, but each side was allowed to select 4 trailblazer there we go, players who could be anything up to 23 to add their experience and guide the younger players through. But Lucy Hamilton, as a consequence of her exploits in the Catherine Raymond Shield, she's 15 in the trailblazer to Wheeler. On the pads, I'm not sure that Wheeler got any dash, but a call for the bowler's end, ambitious, just the leg by. So a big total, 7 runs and over plus for the Dingoes to chase. Quick scoring from the Marlins batters, Lucy Hamilton and Rebecca Coiters among them. Both getting into the 30s. Big slash from Fisk Walsh. It goes behind square. Then a bit of an off break. It was well read on the boundary from Eve Molly. Had to just stick the hand out to her left at the last second, and she did well. Please also let me know if the camera blows out of alignment. We lost 14 overs for a men's match last week when a bird landed through the camera and we didn't notice. Landed on the camera, not through the camera. Less expensive. Outside off and a bit of a footless slash from Kalia Wheeler. Hamilton bowled with plenty of pace. She has a bouncer in her armoury. It's becoming increasingly famous around the Brisbane grade circuit. Playing a miss. Drew the length back of a length. Wheeler, to be fair, has been precise on that footwork, which is not surprising because you don't always face bowlers at Hamilton's pace, even at first grade level. One of the reasons she often doesn't pick up the big wicket balls is that she just beats the edge time after time. It takes a higher class of batter to be able to edge her. A genuine all-rounder. Riley Walderspoon behind the stumps in the number 11 shirt. Very assured first grade keeper for Wests. Well, she may get a haul today. Lucy Hamilton is whatever the opposite of a celebration is, but pitched it up, got a bit of movement, and as you can see, there's only 2 stumps left standing. So an excellent start for the Coastal Marlins to defend this total of 143. The Dingoes will need to make 80% of that total, which will be around the 112 mark, to avoid not only conceding a bonus point to the Marlins, but also dropping one back. A regular victory, 5 points to the winning side, 0 to the losing side. If you score more than 1¼ times the opposition's run rate, it's 6 for the winner and -1 for the loser. We've already seen that happen with the Pirates getting a bonus point victory over the Kings. Charlotte brings the continues from the southern end. Now that Hamilton has the breakthrough from the northern end. She's moved in the cover, Hamilton. Vernie, you can mid off. Molly mid off. It's clouted. She very well fielded, got the knees in the way to Bill Vernie and kept it to 1. New bat on it. The new batter is Kira Holmes, a keeper batter for Valley. Played, I believe she played for Ipswich, but definitely in Valley now. Number 3 is her usual spot. She's definitely got both skills as Kira Holmes. 18 years old, a lot of underage cricket for Queensland. Oh, Griggs draws the error. It was full, wasn't that wide. The square cut wasn't really on, so off the mark in unconvincing fashion was Kira Holmes. Walsh back on strike, Julia Wheeler departing the previous over. Wheeler from second. That looked online from the moment it left the hand of Charlotte Briggs. Fisk Walsh didn't really watch the ball onto the bat, went for the big swing over deep square bovine, and really she won't want to see the video of that. Speaking of video, thank you for all of you for your patience during the first innings of the match when we lost a fair chunk of the innings. There was text commentary available on BrisbanePremierLeague.com on the big deal now, which you can go back and read so at least you get some kind of picture of what happened. I can tell you what happened then is that the Marlins batted superbly. They picked the other flurry. So Fisk Walsh is out. Will be replaced by Eliza Goffridge from Western Suburbs. So Goffridge at the crease to join Kira Holmes. Again, if it's actually Goffage, you are more than welcome to tell me. Pronunciations are important. This sort of sound to a person is the sound of their own name. So don't let me continue an error. Self strike now, Eliza Goffridge facing Charlotte Briggs. Tail up, plenty of wind today. Hamilton bowling with it from the far end, and Briggs bowling against it. She does have the advantage of that. Bit of the pitch that bounces. Briggs. Outside the line, she's trouble. All 3 batters she's bowled to today. Really inside edge balls. Clean bowl for Fisk Walsh. Now has Goffridge playing and missing outside the off-stump. Bunted down the ground. Melbourne makes sure there's no run. Charlotte Briggs keeping it very tight. Dingoes will need to work hard to get 144. Wide slap to cover, there's a misfield that will allow the single. So Goffey's able to get off the mark and off strike. So it's the end of the over, so she's actually fouled the strike. There will be no disgust for Hero Holmes. 2 for 12. Oh, sorry, that's good. What's behind? I apologise. It all adds up to the Marlins being well on top. Hero Holmes and Eliza Goffey did the crease. Hamilton will continue. It'll be interesting to see how Hamilton is used during the week. And the first power play is over. A power surge can be taken after the 10 overs, so the Dingoes have that up their sleeve. So Goffey from Western Suburbs. I won't always mention the clubs, just trying to place them. Turned. The LBW appeal was never going to be answered in the affirmative. It either pitched outside leg, was going down leg, or going over the top, but a very tight delivery from Hamilton. Apart from those three things, good ball. Slapped through cover. In fact, it went straight to point. Excellent fielding. Absolutely superb fielding from Zoe Valencic at point. Valencic also part of that premiership side from the Sunshine Coast. And went up to move to Sango Redcliffe. Out at square leg. The run off the over brings Holmes on strike. Holmes skies it. There is a fielder underneath it, dropped. And the throw from Valencic in disgust. A fairly simple chance. She will be disappointed with herself, but hopefully she can just put that one out of the memory bank. Zoe Valencic putting it down. The score remains there is absolutely no this very tight Marlins attack. You're a player, so you can walk in front of the camera if you want to. Women's players are always far too polite. Briggs. Pitched up delivery, and the drive was on but not timed. So Briggs bowling a stump-to-stump line, making the batters take the risks. Wide edge over the keeper's glove, there was protection at third. And so a streaky single for Govich, who to her credit was alert enough to at least look for the second. Not all on this occasion. jousting conversation soon. Briggs just a little outside off stump, and spectacularly unnecessarily fielded by Hamilton at cover. If you've got the ability to dive around, why wait until it's needed? So there will be probably a leg by. It is. Bunter just over the outstretched hand of Briggs. It'll be a single, but not a convincing shot by any stretch. Good throw from Krugkamp through to the keeper. Just as the Pirates looked in game 1, the Marlins looking very sharp in game 2. Well down the leg side, the only bad ball she's bowled this over. There haven't been many in the spell. Whacked for 4 behind square leg. Unfortunate way for Briggs to end the over. An excellent opportunism. What is quite a bright, scorchy day. The wind is keeping the temperature down a little, not really very much. No batter in double figures yet. Chris Walsh out for 3, Wheeler out for 6, Holmes 5 not out with that boundary, and Goffin 4 not out. Hamilton's 3 overs have gone for 1 for 4. Briggs 1 for 14. Which only looks bad next to Hamilton's figures. Charlotte Lutz into the attack from the far end. Lutz another from the Sunshine Coast Club. You will see plenty of those in the Coastal Marlins side, as I say. Full delivery between batter and stumps. Goffridge probably needed to pay more attention to the line of that delivery, as Lutz begins well. Goffridge is able to squeeze it behind square leg. They've got one. It looks to be covered for the second. As Batrajan is able to get it back to the keeper, albeit on the half volley. So Holmes to face Lutz for the first time. Plenty of runs being had here, which is the South Queensland. Underneath the bat, not across, as Lutz was able to sneak one underneath the wood. It is a tricky pitch to get used to and bounced on. One's been ground down, that's through the gap before. Across the line, and just had enough power on it to bring the hands if we can feel it. We might have been wins. So Lutz conceding 4, but it's a risky shot to lose. Very full, very straight. Any errors? Just have to make the back slightly. field can be moved out for the Marlins, but they haven't needed to at the moment. I think the only deep fielder is a deep cover. Everyone else on the edge of the circle, sorry, the third is deep. Slap through cover, that's 4. There's a ring of 4 on the offside. The gap was found by Holmes straight through the gap and raced away to the boundary. It's a well-kept outfield here at Marchant Park. And so Kira Holmes, just a few signs that she's starting to find a rhythm. 144 a long way away, but Holmes is definitely capable of taking them close. But overall, a good first over from Lutz, and it required some risky batting, at least on one delivery, to get through. A few options. Looks like it might be Zoe Valencic to begin at the near end. Wotherspoon ringing the changes. So Valencic does have 2 going back. Goffridge has a bit of first grade experience herself. She's no newbie. And Valencic, who bowled outstandingly well in both the semi-final and final of the Catherine Raymond Shield 50 over comp last year, is into the Brisbane Premier League for the first time, at least in this match. To Goffridge. It's wide. Goffridge walked across to it. Didn't really yield a reward. There's a deep cover out and a deep mid-wicket. Everyone else pretty much on the edge of the circle apart from Hamilton and short cover. Plenty of loop, probably a leg bite, just squirts out to short third. Probably noticed a lot of commentators are getting used to the gender neutral terminology, so we tend not to say third man, we'll just say third. Have a short third, do you have a deep third? Or just a third? Likewise, batter and fielder may sound very important, but batter and fielder, make sure that we don't exclude half of the painful stroke. She's not rolling that ball out of the hand, she's genuinely spinning it. Short slapped, went to Hamilton's right, he will get 4. It was in the air, had it been about a metre or 2 to the right, it was snaffled by Hamilton at cover, but Holmes gets another boundary. Starting to attack, and attacking fairly well. The field hasn't really spread. Wotherspoon's kept the field up, as she should. Met that on the full, bad bounce for the mid-wicket fielder, but there is a sweeper. This fieldsman keeps it in. And in the end, just a single, possibly an overthrow. No, Hamilton's got it covered. Even with the fumbles, worked hard to keep it to 1. Swatted, that could be caught. Just missed. It floated to short mid-wicket and just went past the outstretched arms of Zita Buckingham. Apologies for pronunciation, but that's correct. So Valencia creating chances early, conceding a few runs but creating chances. It's almost as though she's a leg spinner, he said sarcastically. Short delivery, it's hit in front, that's gone. Not by any stretch the best delivery that Valencic's bowled this over, but it was straight, it didn't bounce, and it beat the crossbat shot. Perhaps an unfortunate way to get out, but a good reward for Valencic, who was creating chances all over, as I say. So a 3rd wicket down for the Dingoes. The Marlins have not had to wait too long to change the batters. They've done very well here in this innings. The Marlins march on. Kira Holmes departs just as she was threatening to cut loose. The new batter is number 14, Olivia Winter. Probably more noted as a bowler. Actually, sorry, I've mixed my wires up there. Plays with Ipswich. And again, a wicket falls on the last ball of the over, which means Goffage is on strike. Face Lutz. Slinging action. This stayed a little bit too long in the hand. Why not the outside? Thank you to those of you watching on the live stream. The live chat is open. I have it in front of me. You can correct me. You can make a contribution, a comment, provide information about players. Send a cheerio, whatever you like. Swing and a miss. But the footwork from Goffage was correct, just didn't quite read the pace and bounce of the ball. Lutz is quite tall, she will draw any extra bounce that's there in the pitch. It's not her pace that causes problems, it's definitely her bounce. This is very good bowling. Perfect length from Lutz, she's attacking that off bail, hasn't hit it yet. You suspect it's only a matter of time. Goffage is trying to play big shots. There are gaps in that offside field, to be fair. That's out, caught behind. Was angled in a bit further towards leg stump. Goffage tried to play it two-legged, got the front edge of the bat, and Wotherspoon did well to assess the change in direction, and in the end pouch it quite easily. 4 down for the Dingoes. Eliza Goffage departs, and Lutz has her wicket. Lauren Taylor, number 4, the new bat. The Dingoes, they're probably at the stage now where they can afford to construct an innings to see how far it goes. Forget about the required run rate for a little bit. So Goffage is caught by Wotherspoon. See if we can give information to the scorers at some point. Riley Wotherspoon, captain. I believe from Bundaberg, happy to be corrected. Well watched by Taylor. Taylor plays for Wynnum Manly Redlands. Appears to have a very good batting technique. The Darling Dingoes in a bit of trouble early. Does not take away from the quality of the Marlins. And Lutz just getting a bit of low bounce as that skidded through to Wotherspoon. She did take wickets as well last season, Riley Wotherspoon. For Wests, and of course if you play at the club, same club as Josie Dooley, every now and then you need to relinquish the gloves and find something else to do. Fuller delivery, not quite a no ball, just below the waist. Just bunted to mid-wicket for a single, so Taylor off the mark. The Mazda Brisbane Premier League here at Marchant Park. If you check the Brisbane Premier League YouTube channel, which to be fair is probably how you got here in the first place, if you want to check out the boys tournaments happening simultaneously in under 12, 13, 15 and 17, one match from each competition is being streamed at any one time. We would love to be able to show every single match on a live stream, but we have a limited number of frog boxes, a limited amount of bandwidth and a limited budget. So put all those things together, at least this year, it will only be the one match streamed at any one time for each competition. Zoe Valencic, wicket with the last ball of the previous over to continue. The Taylor drops and runs. Clever. Into the offside, and that will bring Olivia Winter back on strike. But with the field set back, there's no one in stopping that short signal. Probably no one shopping either, but that's not really the point. So clever batting from Taylor just to take the run on offer. Valencic to Winter. Beautiful. Superb length from Valencic, drew the batter forward, spun it past the edge. Venturi said all keepers compulsively take bails off. Fact, science. Just a touch shorter, and a good decision by Winter to go onto the back foot, but nonetheless failed to connect. Plenty of flight, hit down the ground, caught and bowled chance. It's just the single as it's fielded by Crew Camp at mid-off. But Valencic again, creating a lot of chances. And in the last over, it ended up yielding a wicket off a ball which probably shouldn't have got one. Slow, clever again from Taylor. And Wotherspoon, she'll either just be happy to concede the singles, or she may need to bring at least one player in to stop that shot, maybe a short cover. Slap 2 cover, and that one hits the cover fielder on the shin. But whatever you need to do, as Mel Vernier saves the single, it means justify the end when it comes to which body part you use to field the ball. So the Marlins still well on top on the main field at Marchant Park at Aspley in the very north of Brisbane. Chermside Shopping Centre is about a kilometre to the south of here. There is food available here if you're able to come down to the ground. It is a bit limited. Halfway point overs-wise of the Dingoes innings, 4 for 42, so 105 needed off 10 overs. Miracles happen, but the Dingoes would need to show something they haven't shown us yet. We have a bowling change. It's Melanie Vernier, number 9 for the Marlins, who will take up the attack from the northern end. Wide of off stump, but not wide enough for a sundry. Wotherspoon's been impressive behind the stumps. Likewise in the previous game, performance of Elise Hart for the Northern Kings. Very assured performance. That was online, well held out by Taylor. She's dealing in singles, which is fine.
Yeah.
So bringing Winter on strike.
You're going to get round for that, yeah?
So Vernier, just a touch above medium pace. And very tight so far. Bowling to Winter. Big shot across the line, and it will yield one. It's fielded very calmly out of deep mid-wicket. So Vernier with a safe start. That is to come for the Marlins. Lauren Anderson, Ella Anderson, no relation I think, Caitlin Ludwig, Aria Powell, Felicity, actually I'm not sure Felicity Koch is here. Abby Harvey, Hannah Tucker, and Eloise McKenzie. A lot of young talent in this Dingoes side. Marlins are showing them the upper hand at the moment. No stars with the bat, just lots of regular contributors. And the same can be said of their bowling. That's edged. Wotherspoon's got it. Been given a bit of extra bounce from Vernier. It came up towards the throat of Wotherspoon as it came off the edge. She had to adjust, but did it cleanly enough as the wickets continue to tumble for the Darling Dingoes. 5 wickets down, still over 100 runs to get. And the new batter will be Hannah Tucker. Now sadly, we don't have the budget for live replays here on this stream, but if you're on YouTube, if you tap the left of your screen quickly twice, it goes back 10 seconds. And then on the right of your screen, it goes forward 10 seconds. So you can always just pop back and forward as you need to. That way you get your own action replays. So Wotherspoon with her second catch. That one's slightly tricky. It was straight to her, but it wasn't necessarily straight to her gloves. Hannah Tucker from the University of Queensland club, who won the Jodie Fields Shield last season, which is the second grade competition. Landed on off stump, maybe decked away slightly through to Wotherspoon without taking a second edge. Excellent first over from Bernier. She has been improving steadily over the last 12 months or so. Marlins were on top, 5 for 44 after 11 overs. 104 runs needed off 9 overs. Janelle Pays, 14-year-old from St Gabriel, played in the 20 over final in the Catherine Raymond Shield last year. Very good fielder in the deep. Haven't seen her do much of that today, but she's got an arm on her. Quick and flat off spin from Pays. And yes, the spin romance can be like to see her toss it up, but she's got her style. Much better flighted. Drew the false shot. Superb work from Pays. It is coming out of the wrist as a leg spin. It is turning it briefly. Drew a false sweep shot. Floated from Pays, didn't get it to land, but it will just be an easy single down to Valencic at long on. Flighted again. All Tucker could do was inspect that delivery. Online with just a hint of venom in it. That ball was so flat it barely made it to the batsman on the second bounce. The batter, I apologise. So 5 for 45 at the end of the 12th. As Janelle Pays finishes a tight first over. And sadly for the Dingoes, not only is the wind slipping away, but they'll probably concede the bonus point as well. The good news for them is that the Kings are already on -1. You want to check the other scores? I reckon if I had a whole desk here in front of me, I'd probably be able to give you a round the grounds update. Or the Brisbane Premier League app, as the wind picks up significantly from the east. From the coast indeed, as the coastal Marlins dominate here at March Slapped to point, well fielded by Zoe Valencic, and they do make it through. Tucker returns to strike, but We'll give just a kilometre an hour or two extra to Melanie Vaniak. 5:47. Edge to point. Late to take off. It would need a direct hit. She could possibly have been in trouble, Hannah Tucker, had there been a direct hit, but as it is, makes it safely enough through for a single. Olivia Winter returning to the strike. Against Vanian. That was straight. If it's hit the pad, that's out. It swung down the line. It was definitely angled in towards the bat, but you can see the away movement. And that's the end of Olivia Winter for just 4. It's now 6:48. The Marlins have been doing a very impressive start to the tournament. So Winter possibly trying to accelerate the run rate. Didn't quite do it in the right way. Lauren Anderson, another of the trailblazer players. Why am I stumbling over Trailblazer? But she's over 19, but is in the squad too. Players along. Another University of Queensland club woman. Vaniak marches on. 1.4 overs, now 2 for 5.
Get loose and take over.
Change of keeper is indicated by the coaching staff of the Marlins. So then Lauren Anderson, the new batter, replaces the dismissed Winter.
These things.
So Venny to continue. That's straight. It's very straight, maybe just down leg. It's come off the pad. A shot was played. That could be 4 leg byes. It's definitely 4 something. And it is 4 leg byes. So a slightly unfair consequence for Vaniak, but the Dingoes won't complain because that's brought up their 50. It's been a struggle for the Dingoes to get to that half century, but they've got there, they've struggled on, and shown a lot of heart. We saw from their men's teams over the last 4 weeks that something's going right in head office at the Darling Dingoes. Showing a lot of verve here. And a rare trip outside off stump for Danny. Very tight the last few deliveries. Lauren Anderson, very tall player. Job to do at the moment, although she may have just been given the instruction to play herself in. There's 5 games to go. A lot of life left in this tournament. Straight had to be kept out as it was by Lauren Anderson. So Eve Molly will replace Riley Wotherspoon as keeper for the Marlins. A lot of these teams are playing back-to-back games today. One team that isn't is the Northern Kings. They're practicing to my left, over beyond the boundary, side of the main field at Marchant Park. For a lot of these teams, including the Pirates who beat them earlier today, they had to celebrate their win in about 30 seconds and then scamper over to one of the other fields to continue their day. Janelle Pays. That was extraordinary. It must have pitched outside leg, and I'm not going to pretend I can see from back here. Just patted away. Tucker, a little bit lackadaisical there. Again, straight, draws an appeal, but umpire was never too interested. There is no release valve from the Marlins here. The footwork from Tucker came forward to meet it. Straight to Vanny for cover.
So what is the weather? Only on one base, I only have 13 minutes.
Spinning it past the edge. Hayes is a genuine spin option, and she's displaying that here.
They can only bat fucking 11 anyway.
Hooked over the leg side, just clears the hands of the mid-wicket fielder, and then picked up by Hamilton on the boundary, who fires it back into Molly with the gloves. That was an opportunity created by Hayes. I'm not suggesting the fielder should have caught it without suddenly growing a metre. But Hayes doing a good job for the Marlins. And that one just stuck in the front of the hand. It'll be either 4 byes or 5 wides. In fact, it has been given as wides, just the 2 in the end. So got a little bit lucky there, did Hayes, but it's a rare false delivery from the leg spinner. Goes back, that's top edged. Fielder, just fell short of the fielder coming in. I think might have been Batrajan. Just fell short, so a life. The Marlins definitely on top. I think they're playing for pride now. You have to say 6:59. At the end of the 14th over. Hannah Tucker on 2, Lauren Anderson 3. Chance of being created in law. 16 of those 59 sundries. Straight delivery, played airishly. It's not a word, but I'll use it airishly. But again, just the one fielder in the inner ring. That's Lucy Hamilton. Stayed inside the wide line, but not her best delivery. 8 teams in this competition, and apart from camera failures aside, you'll see all 8 teams at least twice on the live stream during the week. We've seen the Pirates and Kings this morning. 2 teams we'll see 3 times. Just pushing it too far outside off Bernie, but yes, each team will play 2 games a day, which means 6 games. So of course with 8 teams, each team will not play one other team. But in both of the men's competitions completed, the final was played between 2 teams who hadn't met yet, so it can lead to a good climax. Straight, hit on the pad, but no one's interested. Tucker's footwork was a little bit half-hearted. I suppose if it's a little bit half-hearted, that makes it quarter-hearted. Dingoes batters making sure they play themselves in. You don't know what's going to happen in the remainder of the tournament. Lofted, but to the right of Lucy Hamilton, so that's a single to Tucker. Good bowling from Benny to create the opportunity. Still plenty of wind at Marchant Park, which is good for the bowlers. Good bounce. Although, as we saw rather bitterly in the first match, we did have an instance where a wicket-keeper was hit in the face by a ball and just suddenly reared up, going to hit the area next to the stumps. I'm not sure if there's some concrete for the stumps there or what there is, but it definitely reared. as did that one. Straight over the bat of Lauren Anderson. An excellent over. 6 for 61 at the end of the 15th. Vernieks bowled out, and that's an excellent spell from her. Some confusion as to whether Hayes is leaving the field or bowling the next over. Leaving the field seems to be the option with one out. I can assure you it will not be Hayes bowling the next over because she's no longer on the park. And it will be Holly Thomas for the first time today. And given how far they are in front, this is an opportunity for the Marlins to experiment and see what they have in their squad. See how they go under match conditions. $87 runs required off 5 overs. That's almost not worth worrying about. We'll look at the game within the game that's happening in front of us. More leg spin, this one down the leg side. But again, Holly Thomas looking like she's really wrapping the fingers around it, trying to get some purchase off the wicket. Fielding change as the short third moves to short fine leg. Possibly a bit negative. The one appeal on the field comes from long on. Bowler uninterested. Thomas starting well. Dragged it down. This could be caught. Just landed in no woman's land. Came off the top edge of the bat. And unfortunately, no one was close enough to catch it. But I think Thomas can claim a moral victory. On 3. He's tried to knock it around. I was about to say, that looked very straight and very low, and the appeal was nowhere nearly as loud as it should have been. Be less apologetic, women. And that was a very plumb LBW that should have got a lot more support from the bowlers. 7 for 62. Tucker leaves. New batter is Abby Harvey. It'd be good to get another look at that, but I'm not sure why the appeal wasn't about 10 times louder than it was, because that was very, very out. Abby Harvey, who bowled impressively earlier today, showed good pace and good control. Quick delivery from Thomas, beat the outside edge. Excellent thinking from Holly Thomas. And Eve Molly showing she's a true keeper by taking up the bails even when there's no opportunity. Met on the full, whacked into the gap, and fielded relatively comfortably by Charlotte Briggs at long on. In fact, more than comfortably, threatened to fire the return back in. A good first over from Holly Thomas. 7 for 64, which means at the end of, I think, 17 overs, the Dingoes are finally past halfway. And that's not to discredit the Dingoes, simply to highlight the dominance of the Marlins today. It's an excellent team. To rotate the bowlers, find out what they've got in the squad under match conditions. Now Zita. Number 13. To bowl from the northern end. So it looks like the Marlins are making sure that it's not just giving everyone a go, it's finding out what you've got in your squad. You should know what you towards the pointy end of the tournament. Floaty outside off stump. With right arm mediums. And, oh, hang on. Sorry, for one horrible moment I thought we'd lost picture again, but we're okay. Online, 1 to 2, long on, for a single by Lauren Anderson. Leaving out a syllable, I think it's Virachajan. It's the pronunciation of Dingoes, but again, have to be corrected. So away with ball first, and then caught up with the second. Good. Again on line, slightly lofted shot with Harvey. Down to mid on for a single. It's a good tight bowling from Virachajan. Delivery from Virachajan. All that we've done with that by Anderson was just to show it respect and get it to Hamilton and cover. Without Hamilton, and we brought back for this match, but we was not going to they've got some good pace options, several good spinning options, at least 2 could be, they may have 3 or 4. And a great all-round talent. It's not an obvious weakness, at least it's been exposed in this game. Virachajan. Classic about the shot, but $7 for 69. Like, let's say 80 or 90. Let's say 90 for the Dingoes. That'll give them a good bit of confidence to go into the remaining games. Force delivery clipped and caught. Excellent catch taken just above the ground at square leg. It was whipped off the toes. And then a very sharp chance taken by Mia Krewkamp at square leg. I don't think she realised it was going to carry to her for a long time and then suddenly realised she had an opportunity. The Marlins get the Dingoes 8 down. Unfortunate, the new bat will be Arya Pal. At the end of the innings, from Abby Harvey, who played some good shots while she was out there, but now has to depart. But no, excellent low catch from Mia Krewkamp, who's now close enough to tell me if I'm mispronouncing her name. Whacked! That is the most aggressive shot we've seen for a long time. Just suddenly pulled out 6 runs from nowhere. Superb shot, and I apologise, that is Abby Harvey. It was Anderson who was out. And Abby Harvey can continue to play some good shots, including one whacked over the leg side from the previously unruffled Holly Thomas. Scoreboard rockets to 75 all of a sudden. As Harvey moves to 9. Lofted. Falls just short of Krewkamp. There will be a single. So Harvey electing to go after Thomas. Yield 7 from 2. Aria Powell on strike. Powell from the Ipswich club. And Lee from Taunton called out. Stays back, goes for a cut. And maybe some of the Dingoes higher up the order can look at this. Some good, aggressive batting and sensible batting in the last couple of overs. Thomas needs to respond. Does so. It's whacked in between the two fielders. It is cut off though, just the one. There was a deep mid wicket and a long on. It was placed between the two of them, but they were able to close the gap. Rajan and Briggs. Floated. Not quite a no ball. It's been hooked around the corner. That's 4 runs. 4 runs for Powell. In fact, it has been a call for no ball, so it will be a free hit. The field can't change. So Thomas being attacked this over, which a leg spinner shouldn't mind. You want the batters playing shots against you. Can't take a wicket this ball, but you can set up a psychological victory. Not a bad delivery, and Powell, possibly her eyes lit up at the free hit and didn't go through everything she needed to do to get the ball a long way from home. Also just hit a single to get Harvey back on strike. Powell played well, got it past the ball, and she will take a single. Clever batting. We're up to 84, so that 90 is very much back on track as Valencic's throw hits her fellow leg spinner in the shin, Holly Thomas. So 8 for 84. The next game is scheduled to start at 2. I would expect that'll be delayed, given that it's already 9 minutes to 2. There have been some genuinely sticky situations to deal with today. It's been a mighty effort from the organisers to make sure today continued to go ahead. It's been very much to the benefit as well, there's only 2 overs left, so the power surge has been taken. But to be fair, I think Abby Harvey deserves the opportunity to bat in the power surge anyway. No, the Marlins have done very well here, but the Dingoes now just an outside chance of not dropping that bonus point. They need a couple of excellent overs. And 30 runs off 2 overs, probably, maybe it is too much to ask, but have something to aim for. Aim high. Give yourselves a shot. Just squeezed between the legs by Powell. Of the Rajan, who concedes the single. Had a good first over. 8 for 85. Harvey on strike now, she's on 11. Powell's moved to 7. It's been good late order batting from the Dingoes. We'll see how long they remain late in the order. Full, lofted, but nowhere near a fielder. It's at least a single to Harvey, and it is kept to just the one down to long on. So Harvey and Powell batting well, 8 for 86. Edged, but just to the right of Molly. And through the legs, and unfortunately that has gone for 4 thanks to the misfield. Unfortunately for the fielder, Powell doesn't mind at all. She's in double figures. The total reaches 90, which I thought was a bit ambitious a couple of overs ago, but they've made it. If they can get the triple figures, so much the better. Yes, just through the legs, or the hands rather, of Rebecca Coiters. So the result not in any danger. The Marlins have this sewn up. Big swing from Powell. And I like the old long distance dialing, no connection. Good comeback from Viratragun, changed the pace. Held it back significantly. Oh, that slipped out of the hand of Viratragun. So called no ball, there will be a free hit, so a chance for Pal here. She's had one free hit. Perhaps she just lost her head a little and went for the big shot without really looking at it. A chance to be aggressive with intent here, with control, with technique. Good ball, good cut shot. It goes straight to the fielder. He can be run out off a free hit, of course. But that was middled by Pal. An excellent shot, but some equally good fielding at point. There's Valencic there with the rocket arm. One ball remaining in the over. Viratragun's been mostly tidy. Whacked over the leg side. It's not going to be 6, but it will be 1 bounce for. The fielder in the deep was well around forward of mid-wicket. That was more towards square leg. So 8 for 96 with 1 over remaining. The 100 is very much on. Although it does look like... No, I thought it was going to be Lucy Hamilton. Yes, the win is too far away. They need 48 rather to win off this over. And put it this way, if they get it, we'll be making a DVD of the match. The next match on this oval, on the live stream, will be the Southern Rockets versus the Northern Kings. And Mia Krewkamp will get an opportunity. She's taken a good catch today, done some good things in the field. Now she has the ball in her hand. And the Sandgate Redcliffe Club. Sandgate Redcliffe Club. In my defence, I've been sitting in the sun for 6 hours. Single out to point, but that was quite straight from Krewkamp. Maybe not as fast as the run-up would suggest, but it was definitely on line. The question is, can she keep Abby Harvey quiet? Dead spot, this time fools Molly. Goes behind, they don't take it. It should be said, this ground is a little bit crowned, meaning it's higher in the middle, so the water runs off into the ground. Sometimes that can mean it's a bit hard to see over the pitch, even for a non-striker. Beautiful. Beautiful bowling from Mia Krewkamp. She kept it straight. There's a low bouncing patch at that end of the pitch. Abby Harvey went for the big shot. Why not? She's done well with it. Her very entertaining innings ends. But Krewkamp with a very good wicket in the final over. As the final batter for the Darling Dingoes, Ella Anderson, leg spinner, finished with the figures earlier, 2 for 31 from her overs. Only bowler to take 2 wickets for the Dingoes. She now has, well, a maximum of 3 balls to negotiate. But Krewkamp's done very well to keep it straight with what will end up being her only over of the match. So 97 on the board. A little bit wider and well connected by Anderson. Just a single to cover. The throw's a little wild, but easily cleaned up. So I think that's 9 bowlers used. I don't have access to the app myself at the moment, as well as the stream, but good use of resources by the Marlins. And again, it is, if you keep it straight bowling from this southern end, you will create opportunities because there is a low bouncing patch at that end.
need surgery. Didn't look good.
Hitting to the offside, that'll be caught. The Dingoes are out for 98, couldn't quite reach the 100, but some excellent lower order work. Excellent lower order work, mainly from Abby Harvey, but also from the others. Crew Camp finishes with 2 wickets in the final over of the match, and it is the Coastal Marlins who win this match by 45 runs. We'll leave the live commentary there. You'll be able to see the scorecard flashing up on your screen. It'll also be on BrisbanePremierLeague.com and indeed on the Brisbane Premier League app. This is the Brisbane Premier League brought to you by Mazda, and we hope you've enjoyed this match, the Coastal Marlins versus the Darling Dingoes in the Under-19 women's competition. The Marlins running out winners by 45 runs. Join us in about 10 minutes or so as we see the third match on this field, the Southern Rockets up against the Northern Kings. See you soon. Me? I was actually about to just pop over and get myself a drink.
No, it's not good.